Hello, this is the database management class, lecture number 2 for the week number 2. Um, I want to share with you a couple of things today. First, I want to share with you some feedback from the assignment number 1 from last week, and then talk about what we need to do for today or this week, and what um, assignment needs to be done and discussion needs to be done and so forth. I have uploaded this document in Blackboard. Let me show you where it is. So in week number 2, if you go down, here's the lesson plan for week number 2. That's the Word document that you are seeing behind this. So a word about the uh, week 1 assignment. I think everyone did really well. I was glad to see that people were able to use a Lucidchart effectively, and most of you have provided a good um, a design, created the table, and the attributes, um, provided a key, and provided some relationships among the tables, as well as the logic and reasoning behind why you chose them. As some of you have pointed out, we can get really detailed and comprehensive about this. And so, as I mentioned in the lecture last time, this is more of a start. So you just needed to provide essential ones and show me that you're thoughtful about providing the tables and some attributes. I think my voice is not working well today. Anyway, so I think some of you had some issues and difficulty uploading the Lucidchart on the Blackboard and emailed me, which is fine. But if you let me know exactly what kind of an issue that you're having, then I'll take a look at it, as well as to maybe ask the Blackboard administrator to give us a hand. Um, okay, but we will be talking about some details as we go through the term, and so hopefully some of those things will be clarified and discussed in greater detail. For this week, the goal is to install a Microsoft SQL Server. And in order to do that, I'd like you to create a virtual machine on your computer and install a Windows operating system so that we'll have a separation of this test environment from the actual computer that you have. So what I'm looking for this week is for you to successfully download and install the Microsoft SQL Server and put it in the testing environment. So the first thing we need to do is to prepare a virtual machine. You can refer to the textbook on page 10 and 11 um, if you need to, and any one of those virtual machine is fine. I'm going with a VMware, my personal preference, but any of the virtual machine is fine. If you are a Mac user, then there's a list of options that you have. I provided. Again, whatever virtual machine environment that you want to have, that'll be okay. Um, and then the next thing is to download and install the Windows operating system. But there's a particular addition that you need to, well, I'd like you to download and install, and that is the Windows Server 2018 R2 Service Pack, at least one. Two would be better. But that needs to be installed in the virtual machine And the reason for that is the Windows Server 2018 is well integrated with the SQL Server. So that would be a desirable operating system to have. And wherever you can get it is okay. And there are many places to download, including the actual Windows Microsoft website. Here is a one option that I provided a link for you. I think this is university student free download website. So let's kind of go there and look at them. So you can go to Microsoft Imagine, and it's going to ask you to put in your school name and stuff like that, but you don't need to provide your student ID or anything to get here. And there are other softwares they can download for free. But as you can see, here is the Windows Server 2012 R2. So you can do that. And there are other ones that you might be wanting to download. After you download and install the operating system, you probably would need some sort of emulator. If so, then pick one emulator that you can use for the virtual DVD or drive if you need to. The one that is used by the book is provided in this link. So if you want to do that, that'd be fine. The meat of the exercise is to download and install the SQL Server 2012. If you look at the textbook, page 18, I'm flipping over there now. There's an activity 1-3. Let's see, this is a activity 1-3. You can follow this if you like, but when I looked at the actual downloading website for SQL Server 2012 trial page, it didn't actually go there. It is pointing to the 2017 trial edition. So since the textbook is using or based on SQL Server 2012, you need to find one on the Microsoft website. I couldn't find it easily, so I did some searching, and here's a link for you to use, and you can just download it. Let's see if we can go there so we can take a look. So if you click on the link, this will take you here. And you can click on this guy, and then you can click the full ISO if you like. And then click here to download. It's about 4 gig. It may take you a while to actually complete, but it worked okay for me. Okay, but doing so, you want to get to the page 31. Which is now chapter 2. This activity 2-1 is the detailed step-by-step installing of the SQL Server 2012, and there are several installation options. This option is using the wizard. So go through that, and it'll take you really pretty detailed. So instead of just clicking next and next all the way through, do take the time to go through each step and read them. It's detailed, and it's pretty good. Um, when you uh, when there are steps to add a user to the account, it may take few seconds for your login ID to populate in the screen, and you will see um, like on page 40, um, figure 2-15, it says add a current user. So there are a few places where you need to do that. On page 38, make sure you provide that instance name, and that instance name is okay, it is a SQL Server UA. And so this is going to be important for you to remember as we navigate through the text and exercises. Okay, but make sure you name it exactly like that. When you get to the page 46, 29, when you actually finish, you will see a complete um, message. So let me see if I can show you how that looks like. I did some screenshots along the way. This is what I mean when I said SQL Server UA. Make sure you tap the, this is the one that I had before already installed. Let me make this a little bit clearer so you can see this one. But like when you, there are a few places where they ask you to add a user and your name actually pops up. It may take a couple of seconds, if not a little longer. But be patient when you do that. Can I go through the whole thing? This is it. And when they ask you to look at the details, make sure you click on the detail and make sure all things are passed. This is the page that I was referring to. So when you come to this page, you know that you have actually completed it. But also click on this link here. I think your note will come up and tell you the summary of what's been installed. Okay, so make sure you take a look. But do take a screenshot of this one so that I know that you actually came there. So that's a screenshot one. There'll be a total of 4 screenshots that you need to do for me so that I know you have actually got there. So in order to verify that you actually created this and it's functioning, I'd like you to initiate a SQL Server Management Studio. So if you have a Windows 7 or 10, you can navigate to the SQL Server 2012. Go to the All Programs, find the SQL Server 2012, and click on the SQL Server Management Studio. And in a few seconds, it should pop up. So this should come up, and make sure that you have this designation if you have multiple instances of SQL Server. So click on the connect, and make sure you see, or that you are able to get to the SQL Server Management Studio. And here you can see that the actual instance name is displayed under my login ID. Okay, so take a screenshot of this one. Oops. Like this. And there will be the second screenshot. The next activity that I'd like you to do is to do the activity 2-2 on 46. Okay. So if you navigate to page 46, which is the exercise right after the installation, this exercise is about seeing exactly what is installed. I know we looked at a little bit in terms of the text file in the note, but this one is a feature that you can see. So let me kind of go there and do that with you. So you need to initiate the 2012 and you need to click on the configuration tools, and then SQL Server installation. There you go. This is what should come up. Let me make it a little bit smaller if I can. Then click on the tools, and click on the install SQL Server features discovery report, which is this guy. And when you click on it, it may take a few seconds, maybe even a minute. Oops. Pops out on the browser telling you what kind of features that are actually installed. So if I can make it this bit larger, you can see the whole thing. Okay. So take a screenshot of this one. I'll just show you the whole thing. This one looks exactly like the figure on page 49. So that would be the third screenshot. And then do the activity 2-3. And it's on page 49 and following. So same deal. Just go through the, this one is monitoring a few things like the performance and resources. So when you get to step number 13, that's the resource monitor. And it should look something like this. Okay, so here's a resource monitor. Along the way, you will also see the performance monitor. But you know, So when you get to this page um, for the resource monitor, then take a screenshot of this one and then paste it on. So that'll be the fourth one. So what you need to do for me in terms of the assignment is to collect 4 screenshots, put them on the Microsoft Word, and then upload that on the Blackboard assignments. So, and then there is a discussion board posting for this week, so I'll take a look at that. Let me show you, or you can find it. But let's see. It should be in there. And then I know there was a planned quiz for this week, but I think I'm not going to have one. There's a plenty to do for creating a virtual machine, downloading, installing the operating system, and installing the SQL Server 2012. There are a few exercises that you need to do, so I'm going to hold not do the quizzes for this week. So that's pretty much it for what you need to do. All those things are posted on the website. Um, now let me talk a little bit about um, PowerPoints. Okay, so PowerPoints chapter 1 and 2. Okay. Um, I don't need to read all these things for you. You can look at them. I have highlighted some of those items that may be worthy of your attention. But this is a very introductory comments, so I'm going to just make some highlights. Again, this is a introduction chapter. Talked about creating a virtual machine, installing a Windows Server, and installing the SQL Server 2012 on a virtual machine. There are 3 different editions. There's standard, business, intelligence, and enterprise, as well as the specialized editions that you want to be aware of. Express is the one that's free, and here's you can get more information on those items. And your textbook is based on the enterprise edition, so those are okay. Let's see if there's some other ones on chapter 2. I think this page is the kind of important to keep in mind. Notice that in terms of the installation planning steps, um, business requirement often ignored by um, technical personnel, um, but technology is increasingly configured and serving the need of a business requirement. So whatever the business requirement is, that's how is going to shape and determine what features and the scope of the uh, technology will support, including database management. Um, every there can be 50 instances of a single host, but every instance needs to have a database engine. It may be tempting to install everything, and I think that's worth giving a try. But with increasing amount of workload, uh, it's a good idea to install only the functionality that you're going to need, and you can always add more features as you need them. I mentioned about 50 instances, but there can only be one default instance. Yeah, we're not going to do an uninstall. That's pretty much it. So let me just kind of summarize. What we need to do this week is to install the SQL Server, and in order to do that, you need to install the virtual machine, download and install the SQL window server, and take the screenshots of the four places as you go through them, submit them to the discussion question and posting, and that should be it for this week. If there's any question, feel free to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can and expand on a few things. Um, sorry for my voice. Hopefully it'll get better sometime soon, and I will talk to you next week. And I'm going to stop recording now.